Hi, I'm Doug McKinlay, and you're watching Adorama TV. Sometimes it seems there's a never-ending stream of information needed to produce good pictures. I'd be the first to acknowledge that photography does suffer from information overload at times, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Sometimes stripping back the information to something simpler produces really great pictures too. Now, the functionality of a camera and lens works on three things, three simple settings: ISO, shutter speed, and aperture opening. Now, for today's exercise, we're going to choose one aperture opening and one lens. What we're hoping to do is forensically look at these pictures and see what that one aperture setting is going to do for us. Now, this look might vary depending on the focal length of the lens you choose and, of course, the aperture setting you look at. Now, my goal here is to highlight how different pictures can look even by using the same aperture. Now, I've chosen a 50mm 1.4 for this exercise over something wider, like a 24 for instance. And the only real reason is because of the wider lens, I'm going to get distortion I just don't want to deal with today. Now, on this 50mm, I've chosen f2. Now, with f2, I can get that nice sort of landscapey feel by standing back from my picture. And conversely, I can get that nice background blur by getting closer to my picture, which is always really handy when you're shooting in low light without a tripod. When I first started out in this business, my first boss told me I didn't need a telephoto lens. If I needed to get closer, my legs were my telephoto lens. In fact, he believed this mattress so strongly that for 6 months I wasn't allowed to use anything longer than a 50. It's a great discipline. And when you throw in one aperture to the mix, it just makes it that much more interesting. So what we're trying to do today is manipulate the depth of field by changing the distance between the subject and the photographer, or the photographer and the subject, at a certain aperture. This allows you as a photographer to really understand how those apertures work. Now, I've chosen f2 today, but there's no reason why you can't choose another f-stop, up until about f8. After that, it just becomes a bit pointless. If we look at these images one after the other, we can see the effect of the distances of the photographer to a given subject. But it's not just simply about the distances. The creativity also lies in the point of view, the camera angle, and what you determine to be in the background and how much blur. By constraining your aperture to one setting and one lens, you're forcing your photography to look at the world in a very circumscribed way. This is one of those exercises that, if done enough, builds muscle memory and can only help improve your photography in the long run. So that's it for me. I'm Doug McKinlay for Adorama TV. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to Adorama TV for more great videos. And tell us what you think. You can like, comment, or share this video. And please stop by the Adorama Learning Center for more great tips and tricks.